10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good afternoon, attendees. Raj?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Shara.
Good afternoon, Sugan. So I'm first up. Good afternoon, attendees, facilitators across the region. I'm Shara Carrington James. I'm actually principal at a school in Tobago. I'm the first vice president of our Association of Principals in Trinidad as well. But I'm here in a particular capacity today as the chair on the Caribbean Association of Principals conference that we have pegged as Trinbago 2021. With our partners, RSC, Raj Ramdas and his wife, Kevin, is on screen. It is my singular honor today to welcome you to this, our third webinar, and to say to you, remote teaching and learning is really something that our particular circumstance has constrained, confined, and pushed us towards. Raj remains a consultant to CAPS, and we are pleased to partner with him and his wife and the entire team today to bring you this webinar. The fact that you, so many of you in fact, have leveraged the opportunity to take hold of the webinars to gain insight into the skills that are necessary for online engagement. I want to say to you on behalf of CAPS and RSC and APS and all of the organizations who stand behind this webinar, I wish you a successful, mind-engaging webinar. But I'm going to leave you with one thought, Raj, and it came out of a publication from Association of Secondary of Curriculum Development, ASCD. Way back in 2015, before there was any talk of COVID, there was a lady called Julie Evans who spoke to the fact that we at this stage should use less nouns and more verbs. So my thought for today, if I could call it that, is that we must not nounify this process, but verbalize it. Less device and policy and more action. So I wish you have verbalized their hands-on with RSC and Kevin and the whole team, and a very, very productive experience in ensuring that at the end of the day, you've upskilled yourself, re-engineered yourself, and there's collaborative collegiality, more communication, verbalize and less nounify. Raj, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm here with you throughout the entire session of verbalization. Thank you.
Thank you, Shara, for those words of endorsement and, of course, encouragement.
And we are going to verbalize and not noun what?
Nounify.
Nounify or nounize or whatever it is. Kev, you want to kick us off today? Again, welcome everyone. This is our third session in this series of 4. It doesn't mean we're going to end next week, but there are some other opportunities that might exist for us, which we'll talk about today. Still a lot of people still having communication issues in terms of our emails are going to your spam or to your promotion. So we started the notice board. Hopefully that should help. Let me just hand you over to Kev, just the basic housekeeping to start off today's session.
Okay, so hi everyone. Just off camera here, so I am here. Okay, great. So I hope you all noticed the new design to the page, to the registration page. I hope that helped a lot of you to get on. I'm getting messages right now for people to send the link for the to get into the session today. If you do have that link and you can share it with your colleagues, you could go ahead and do that because I won't be able to do that for the next maybe 5-10 minutes. Okay, we won't want them to miss anything. So the first thing I want to do, usual rules, usual little housekeeping. I'll share the video with you in a sec, just a little familiarization with the Webinar Jam platform. As usual, use your chat to send any questions. I will be in the chat in a little bit. Amrit is in the chat in the back as well, making sure things are okay. And if you have connectivity issues, just give it a little while to settle. right? And we should be starting shortly. So just have a 2-minute video, look at the video. It should answer any questions that you have.
This is our Webinar Jam interface. Here is our video area where you'll see your presenters and whatever else they're sharing on their screens. This is your chat area. This is our way to know that you're there, or to see your comments and also your questions. So I put it in, you can see this is where your chat would be. You'd see where your comments would come in as well. Now there are two ways to interface. You could send messages to everyone, which we prefer. But if you have a specific issue that you need to send a message to an admin, then use that. Turn a comment into a question. Click this button. It changes to a queue. You'll see that. Great. And if you want to edit or delete your comment, click the three buttons here. Brings that option up, and you can do that. Edit or delete. Now with connectivity issues, just use the reconnect button here. That's the red button. It asks you to reconnect it. If you have video issues or audio issues, just go ahead and do that. It should solve it. Couple other features, number of people in the room and the time that the room has been active for. Go to show you how polls are done. These are internal polls inside Webinar Jam. So you choose an option based on the question, and then it allows you to register your vote. Click that, and your vote has been registered. Another way we interact is through offers. An offer will take you outside of Webinar Jam, be it an external website, a video, or another poll. It's a great way to add further interactivity to the webinar experience. And last, I'd like to talk about the request to speak button. This brings you in live on the webinar on camera. And usually with large webinars, there's no way we can bring people in. So you're advised not to use it.
Great. So I hope the video would have helped clear up some of the issues that you all may be having. Again, we're always here for you. Kevin is here for tech support when I can. Amrit is always there. Raja and Sugana as well. Okay, so we will be monitoring the chat. Again, put all the questions in the chat. And we'll change them to questions or comments or anything like that. Okay, so the first thing we usually do, Raj, want to do the poll?
No, not yet. We'll skip that today.
Okay, so we skip the device poll.
Right, yeah. So what I want to do is a couple things. First, I want to acknowledge there are quite a number of teachers in this session here who's really very, very super tech capable. I keep mentioning a couple names. If I happen to see it, I really can't look at the chat. But last week, I called out to one guy. We call him Yuv. He's a teacher from Vishnu Boys in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm really excited to say that Yuv reached out to us, and he has offered to be part of the process in assisting other teachers. So well done, Yuv. Yuv is part of our tech support today. And if there are any other teachers who's willing to support, we really appreciate it. So during today's session, when you chat, you will be responding to questions as word ending. So yeah, you.
And we would like to welcome participants from all the countries that are joining us today. We have people from Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and of course, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, the president of the Principals Association of Grenada. Welcome, sir. Also, Bahamas is joining us, South Africa, and definitely a lot of participants from Trinidad and Tobago. So a great welcome to all of you.
All right, so enough of the noun, whatever she said, and let's get into the verb. Let's get into today's class. Today, we're going to speak about and we're going to focus more so in terms of how could we get more engagement, how could the class be interactive, and how we could have assessments. So far, since we started this session, we spoke about content being king, being able to have your content set up as you wanted, and then we look at Zoom as a possible presentation platform. Quite a number of people still saying they did not get the feedback form. Kev will put up the notice board link. There's a notice board link with all the feedback forms. lots of questions about whether you will get your certificates or not. To get a certificate, it's 4 sessions.
3.
No,
Yeah,
4
4
sessions total,
yes.
and you need to attend any 3. Now, our registration process actually tags the attendance. So our system, it's automated. It's going to tell what time you came in the room, how long you stayed in the room. We're just using a registration as an automated verification process. Anyone attending 3 sessions.
And of course, replays count as well.
Replays also. Once you look at the replay and you register, it's going to count. And the next question was if you'll get the certificate as email. Yes. About 1 week after the 4th session is when we'll start emailing certificates. You can feedback with us. Kev, any quick questions? Sorry, Kev, any quick questions before we start? I'm just going to bring up the first session. Just take over here.
Yeah, just one question. So Sherry's asking, are the first 2 webinars available? Yes, they are available as replays. And then when I'm gonna get the notice board link up now, so you could, and we'll also post it to you via email and during some points in the chat as well. So they're available through Webinar Jam, and you could get all the links to everything that you need. The feedback forms, all the links that we'll be talking about for the rest of the afternoon, and for all those we've spoken about in the last 2 sessions. So don't worry about that.
All right, a request again from chat to put the numbers back up. This is tech support for today's session. In addition to chat, 7156052 Trinidad numbers. So it's 1868 and 468-3810. Again, 1868, and Yuv is there. I didn't get Yuv number to put up, but we'll have Yuv number on. So let us go straight into session today, interactive presentations. Kev, give me a little feedback here. Make sure I'm on.
Yeah, I see your screen.
All right, so all go right?
Good to go.
Okay, great.
Okay, good. So this is a familiar image that we've been seeing for the past 2 sessions. The difference between a face-to-face classroom and that of a virtual remote classroom. And there are so many differences.
So the key thing really is, are your participants really, really, really with you when you're presenting? Our participants right now really with us 100% of the time. And we mean both physically and mentally.
Because a number of times when we are in a virtual session, you know, we like to run away, go to the kitchen, grab that cup of coffee, go to the washroom, send that email, send that text. There are so many things that we like to do during our sessions. And a number of times, you know, the presenter is there teaching away, teaching his heart out, and people, what are people doing on the other end?
Luckily for us, we can't see everybody on the other end of the screen, you know, so we can continue teaching our hearts out and, oh, look, at least our camera is in love with us right now. But this is a reality. I mean, we have quite a number of people here, but in the room right now, there are some perhaps like this. So the key thing really is in working and teaching remotely in a classroom environment, there are
Of course, there are rules and consequences, because in a classroom, students cannot eat and drink while a class is in session. They need to go to the washroom. They ask the teacher's permission.
At least they should.
So there are rules and consequences. And also, in a professional setting, we have certain courtesies. And no, I mean, nobody is going to use their phone and WhatsApp and take a call while a presentation is in progress.
Well, they should not. Some people still do, but the reality is it's much, much, much more limited.
And of course, these rules and consequences and courtesies, they do not exist in the virtual classroom.
Right. So the key thing is, how do we get our participants? And here's the key word. How do you get our participants?
Voluntary, meaning do it by themselves. How do we get them to want to stay with us for the whole session? Because
in a virtual environment, that's as much as you have. They need to want to stay. So the key thing really for voluntary participation.
Of course, our session must be interesting and they must be engaged in different ways so that they will stay for the session.
Correct. So what we're going to look at is how could we make our session interesting and engaging?
Now, in a face-to-face classroom, we use, and I know some of you as teachers already use these techniques, stories, humor, emotions, and all of these are used in a face-to-face session. Of course, these, we can also employ them in a virtual classroom.
Right. Some of the techniques, definitely. Some of them you can transfer because can be transferred to a virtual environment. but not all of them can. So the key thing is, how could we invite our participants to actively participate? And Cheryl didn't know how much she was on point today, right? I was going to say on some, but you all probably would know what that is, right? But to invite to someone who's actively participating in learning, rather than to just be a passive learner. How long could you survive? You all in the room right now. How long could you survive as a passive learner? Half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour? What would it be?
Of course, one of the techniques used to keep people engaged is always asking a question.
Correct. So if at this point in time I should say, Sugan, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Sugan. Of course, asking questions, you know, it stimulates thinking because people want to guess, they want to figure out what the answer is. And it also gives them the sense of achievement when they could get the answer correct and solve the problem.
So even the simple technique that we use in a classroom environment, in a virtual environment, has the same effect. When you ask someone a question, it sort of brings them to attention, hopefully. And then that now would gauge us. The key thing is there are different ways to engage someone in asking them a question. Kev, I know you don't know what we're going to do next, but we're going to shoot the poll just now. So just be standby on poll. So here's the question we're going to ask. And I'm going to ask everybody right now. If right next to you there's a pen and paper, please write the answer down for us. If there's no pen and paper right now, just use your finger and pretend you're writing on the table, on your lap, or the bed sheet, or wherever you are right now. So you're going to write the answer to this question. And there are three possible answers. The question is, what device are you currently using for this webinar? What device are you using? So are you using a computer? Are you using a tablet? Or are you using a mobile phone? So please write that answer down for us. What device are you using for this webinar? Are you using a tablet? Are you using a computer? Or are you using a cell phone? I'm going to quickly stop sharing while you quickly write your answer down. All right, so that's enough answer time. Here's what we're going to do now. We're going to ask you the very same question again, but demonstrate a second level of engagement for the same question. So really, we're going to use this as an example. So as a presenter, you can, and what we're going to do now is you do something called a poll. Can we up on this poll? The poll now is, what device are you using? And now there's a poll. So a poll is going to come up on your computer system or your mobile phone, and go ahead and select. Can we see poll up?
Yeah, we are.
Yep, it's up, right?
All right, so we're half and half phones and computers. 40% phones, 56, 58, 60% computers. I'll give it 2 seconds again and then we'll stop. Right, we seem to have normalized. Great. Right, so results looking at 33% of you guys on your mobile device, 7% on tablets, and whopping 59% are on a laptop, computer, or a desktop, I'm assuming. So that's good, because one of the things we hope that you would be using would be your laptop. Although you can use a mobile device to present some content, it'll always be better to use it on a laptop or a desktop. Okay. Yeah, Raj, back there? Where's he off?
All right, excellent. So we had that. So what I'm going to do now, let me just make sure it's working. Nice. All right, so I'm back on.
Nice.
So you have experiences of the same question. One you wrote on paper, the next one you responded via a poll. What I would like you all now is to go to chat. And when you go to chat, up on the sticky note all the way on top, you'll see a link, https://www.menti.com. And when you go there, it's exactly the same question. What device are you using? A phone, a tablet, or a computer? Usually, if I'm using this, perhaps what I would do is put your name down. I could probably give an opportunity to put your name down, but just look at the experience again. So you're going to the chat. There's going to be a link. Once you see that link, what device are you using? And the responses should be pretty similar to the responses we would have had before.
Yeah, so that link is at the top of the chat window where your chat should come up. And it's a clickable link, so you should be able to get it immediately. It'll take you out of Webinar Jam, so just be mindful of that. And it may take a couple of seconds for your screen to load. Anyone else? Any results yet, Brad?
A lot of people did answer. I am not going to share the responses as yet because I'm going now yet to a third example. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to send you back with a totally different style of response. All I'm demonstrating here is how to get engagement, right? Same question again, but now it's a different style of question. What I would like you to do now is before you answer the question, put your initials, like just put your initials like SR or whatever. People are putting the answers in the chat. The answer is not to be placed in chat. It's a link to get you to a different table. So look at the link now, and it's a totally different way to answer the same question. So click on the link. Kev, I'm off camera because I'm just pulling.
Or tap on the link if you need to. If you're using your mobile device and you see the chat, just tap on the link. It will take you out of the Webinar Jam. Okay. So what we're doing is demonstrating different methods. So we can do a poll within the Webinar Jam, and the other online platforms can do that as well. But we're showing ways that you could have third-party programs.
Right. Kev, I'm cutting you. Kev, I'm cutting you, right? Now I'm asking you all put your name, put like your initials. I'm looking at the answers and I'm not seeing initials. Just put an initial or name or whatever you want to put.
Also, I got a little tip. Tell them it's in blue. So it's the blue text at the top. It's a hyperlink.
Yep.
Thanks you.
Thanks
yeah,
you.
That's it.
Yeah. Click on the hyperlink above. So what you would have experienced while we're waiting on the others to fill it out, first you wrote on paper, then you did a poll, then you did a Mentimeter that was just like the poll, but we came out of it. If your connection is disrupted, just click reconnect on top. And now you're doing a totally different style of interaction, right? So let's see. And I love this. Vega made a comment here. Same thing when you are teaching, you give instructions and students do their own interpretation of instructions, which is what is happening, which means I just have to explain a little better, right? So on the link on top, let's see how the response is going here, Kev. We have a lot, 379. So I'm hoping most of you all, yes, Brenda, I'm hoping most of you all are back in the room. So I'm going to share your responses, right? So I'm going to do a share screen. Kev, you could talk a little bit while I switch to share
Right, and
screen
while you're
here.
doing that, just to answer a couple of questions coming up in the chat, is Mentimeter free? Yes, this version that you can sign up for a free account, and you can do all of the things that we're doing with a free Mentimeter account.
All right, so are you seeing the shared screen, Kev?
Yes, I am.
All right, so these are the responses. So if you notice, a lot of people just put the device, phone, cell phone, whoever is RNL and RH and so on, thank you very much. You did put your initials. Some people put initials alone and no device and so on and so on and so on, right? So there are different types of response that we are engaging here. And that is what we want to discuss. So it's now four different ways to ask the same question, and 4 different ways in terms of how the responses came in,
and
right?
Actually 4 different levels of engagement. And the first level, where you just had to write an answer,
Right.
There was no way of knowing who wrote or how many people wrote. So that was the first level of engagement. Of course, in the second level, which was the poll, we could have seen how many people did it, but we couldn't see who it was who answered the question. And then the third level of engagement, which was the Mentimeter.
Correct, yeah.
In the Mentimeter, we saw again how many people and what was the device.
Correct. So what happened here? First, we engaged participants. So first you engage students. And what the students would have done, it was a call to action. So they acted. But as the presenter, we really don't know what was the level of engagement. So when I ask you to write on a piece of paper, some of you all did, some of you all did not. Some of you all say, well, he ain't gonna know if I write or I ain't write. It'll make a difference. But what you don't know is we are reverse cameraing you right now. So we've seen everything you're doing. That's a lie. No, we can't do that, right? But you don't know as a presenter if your participants were engaged or not. That doesn't mean don't use it. It's an excellent way to bring attention to them, because if you ask them to do something, you could probably bring them back mentally with you. The second method, where we use the poll, we could not tell how many people, we could not tell granular who said what, but overall we could have know exactly 60% of the people responded and so on and so on. So we could have an idea of the level of engagement that is happening. The third one, which you all did not follow the instructions, maybe I didn't explain it correctly, I ask you all to put your initials, not your whole name, so that I can have a level of engagement to say, all right, so AK said this and FY said that and so on and so on. And those people who did not put your initials, you totally messed up my whole example here, but that's all right, because in reality, that's not going to happen. Unless we find a way to get the name compulsory, which I'll show you a little later on how we do that. In this case, putting your name was voluntary, but at least it gives us an idea of the engagement in terms of what is happening. So the first thing to understand is a question is a good call to action. And call to action is really one of the methods that is going to keep your session engaged. You don't have to do it as often as we are doing it here. This is demonstrations teaching you how to do it. But on an average, every 10 to 15 minutes, we should have a call to action.
And of course, we do have other methods you can use. There's always that personal energy that you bring to the, well, it wouldn't be classroom, well, the virtual classroom that is. And of course, segmentation is another good technique to employ. That is why you break up your presentation into short segments and different. And
if I may speak to the energy, your energy is so absolutely important, because as a presenter, you might think you're not in the room with the people, but believe you me, they feel your passion, they feel your response. I mean, if you're in front of a session and you say, there are ways to do this. Number one, call to action. Number two, oh God, send the people a PDF file and they read it. But let them feel your emotions. Let them feel exactly how you feel about the situation. And that is really good engagement. Segmentation, like Sugan said, is a good segmentation is when you start with a call to action. That brings them into the room. Competition, I'm going to leave that out just now, because I'm going to run a Mentimeter to show you really how competition. I mean, not just students, but every human being responds really well to competition. You make something competitive and they are super engaged. Have you heard me there?
And of course, competition helps everyone to feel a part of a community. So
correct. All right. So any questions you want us to deal with? Blah, 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 Kev, before we move on?
Just the usual some people saying that they weren't able to get more than a few questions with Mentimeter.
Right.
On the on a free version. So could you clarify whether that's true or not?
All right, yes. I'm going to deal with that, the details on Mentimeter just now, right? We're going to do a session on Mentimeter. All right, cool. So let's move on. Kev, I think you have a Mentimeter quiz you want to run just to demonstrate.
Yeah, so give me a...
Right, so while Kev is bringing that up, let me just address that. So how today's session really going to run, right, is we are doing a lot of demonstrations, and we'll perhaps do some how to do training in a couple of the tools. The reality is we will not have enough time to go into granular how to do in all the tools, but we're going to put up a lot of short videos and guide you to other videos so that you now can learn these techniques. The thing about today, it's not that you're going to get all the questions. You're not going to get all the demos. It's not you're going to get everything. You just experience and understand, number one, what exists, number two, the possibilities with it, and then now to take us to the next step to start learning. Yeah? Intigab is saying that the video and the audio is out of sync. So Intikab scene is like a karate movie, out of sync right now.
A dubbed karate
A
movie.
dubbed karate movie. All right, Intikab. All right, Intikab. Well done. All right, so Kev, as soon as you're ready, let me know, and I'm going to switch
so
back.
yeah, we're about ready. All right, so the
Where are you putting the link? On top again?
the link is in an offer.
It's an offer. Okay, so Kev is going to bring up an offer. So I'm switching off.
So I explained to you guys how to do an offer.
Kev, you're off camera.
Yeah, I'm here. So in the video, so you're looking for the kind of teal button. It's going to come up in about a couple seconds. So again, it's going to take you out of Webinar Jam. So take a couple seconds if you're using your phone. It's going to take a while to load. It's going to be a funnel session. There are about 5 questions. And the winner, I don't know what the prize will be for the winner. Raj will be able to give you all more details of that. So welcome to Webinar Wednesday's quiz.
All right, now remember this is a competition, so you're going to it. Kev, you'll do a share screen and bring it up on your side, would you?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so let me come off Webinar Jam so we don't come, no, I don't want to come off Webinar Jam. Let me come off Mentimeter. So whilst you're doing it, Kev, is it that you're giving a time or you're just going to present and they'll do it?
All right, so I need to share my screen.
What is your question, by the way? Maybe I should go and do it myself.
All right, so I'm ready to start the quiz. I'm waiting for players.
What is it? Oh, all right. So what is happening is if you go on there, you will not see what the question is as yet. Is that correct, Kev?
Correct. It's loading now.
Oh, it's loading now. You didn't present it. Okay. So if you're not seeing anything, like I'm not seeing anything, don't worry about it. Your presenter is still loading his quiz.
So the questions are ready. I hope it's working. All right.
You present. You have to click present, Kev.
No question there.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah,
offer's up. This on my
Yeah, but did
share screen
you
went bad.
present it in Mentimeter, Kev?
Yeah.
On your screen, very squiggly right now, which is cool.
Yeah, turn it off. Turn it off.
Right, you have to present the quiz.
Yeah, the quiz is up.
Yeah, but I didn't present it yet. I'm still waiting to see it. Is anyone seeing the questions? What is your question, Kev?
So the first question is, all right, so let's present it again.
Yeah.
The first question is, what is 2 plus 2? So I'm starting the quiz.
Huh? How are you supposed to see? Yeah, yeah. That one, we get in it. Click on the offer.
I hope you guys are seeing quiz. Waiting for players.
All right, so you're ready to roll? Go ahead with how many players you have, so we can. All right, so to just explain what he's doing, he just put up an offer, so you're gonna get it in the offer, and he's gonna run this offer as a quiz, which is like a competition, and pretty soon, we'll see how it's going. We got you there?
Not yet. I think all right, let's put the quiz, let's put the link back.
All right, so Kev will come back just now and show us how those results went, right? Now remember, this is just an example. I don't think Kev would have focused so much on what the question is or what the correctness of the question and so on. So please don't pong him too much about the wrong answer if that's what it is, right? Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, Kev, and continue with my presentation, yeah?
Sure, yeah, because I'm getting...
Brilliant. So where we are right now is we would have used a platform, and I'm using Webinar Jam. Some of you will use, as you was putting it, Blue Button, some of you will Zoom, whatever it is. And in a platform, there are certain things that you can do. So for example, you can...
Okay, so in a platform, Webinar Jam, for example, you can chat, you can offer polls, and you can put certain links on the offers.
Now, not all platforms that allow you offers. So chat is one of the key places you might want to use. And you have polls. I saw you've put just now that in blue, the polls that allow you to know how the responses work. Now, the key thing is within your platform, there are limitations as to what you could do. Yeah.
Okay, let's take an analogy. For example, I'll use my kitchen as an analogy. For example, if I'm cooking in my kitchen, there are certain things that the kitchen allows me to do. I could cook there. It has Wi-Fi capabilities, so I could use my phone or a tablet and listen to music or motivational CD. What else can I do in my kitchen? Heat up food, get stuff from the fridge, but it's limited. Well, cook. Yeah, I did mention cook.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can go to the kitchen to cook. But if you want to do something that you cannot do in the kitchen, for example, Webinar Jam doesn't allow some of the things like quiz and so on, you need to get out of that environment. So I come out of the kitchen and maybe go to the TV room where I could look at TV. So that's something I could do there. But I need to come out of my room, my main room, which is the kitchen, and go to another room, which Kevin was talking about, third-party
software,
platform
tools,
or software
platform,
or tool.
whatever it might be.
Yeah. So if I want to pick mangoes, I already checked the mango tree outside. I realize it's mango season. Trinidad here, I'm sure it's mango season all over the Caribbean. I already checked my tree, made sure there are mangoes. So I would like to go and pick the mangoes. So I move out of my main room, which is the kitchen, go outside to the yard, to the mango tree, and pick my mangoes. But then I come back into my kitchen to cook my mangoes, prepare it, have it to eat, make chow or whatever I want to do with it.
So tell the people all the business right now. Nice. So all you know for a fact, chow is for lunch and mango and char and whatever else for dinner. Right? Well done. So in the platform, you can do certain things, but there are certain things you cannot do in a platform, and we will now use third-party tools like we did with Mentimeter just now. Now, most of the times you'll use either chat or your offers, and what you will have is a link. And this is the key for getting your participants from one room to the next. From one room to the next. We would use links, and your participants will simply click on a link, and now we're going to show you different tools they can use, whether it's Google Form, Mentimeter, Flipgrid, FlexiQuiz, whatever it might be. Your participants will go. But here's the danger point now. When your participants leave the room and they go to another room, another platform, what happens is they don't always return.
Yep.
Most will return, some will run away, and some will get lost trying to return. But all of that is part of the process. So the key thing today is, if you want to be interactive, there are certain basic tools outside the platform you want to master. And that's some of the things we really want to discuss and talk about and demonstrate today. All right, so let me just come back into the room here, the main room. So you see, I just got lost and I'm coming back. All right, cool. So are we all good? Kev, any questions?
No, looking good so far. Just some comments about the quiz.
All right, now what happened there is in the poll, in the offers, there's something called simple test, right? And simple test, Kev, is that what you call yours too?
Yeah, we are not infallible, so it was the wrong. That was the old quiz.
All right, so what happened just now is that the poll that Kevin and I just put up is really something called simple test, which I'm going to run just now again. So those of you who did it, you'll get a chance to do it again. But that was really done in Google Form. All right, that was done in Google Form, which is my next topic coming up here just now. We just wanted to scoot off and finish off Mentimeter first. So let me just run a video. Any questions before I move on here, Kev?
Yeah, if you have the time, I can run it again.
We'll come back to it, right?
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to do a video here.
Let us first do a brief overview of Mentimeter before going into actual examples. Mentimeter is an interactive presentation tool that can greatly enhance the teaching and learning process. It is great to use if your participants are in the same environment with you, and it is also a fantastic tool for remote teaching. There is a free version that can be used, and with this free version, you have unlimited presentations, audience size, and content slides. but there's going to be some limit in terms of the number of questions per presentation and also some limit with the amount of quizzes per presentation. Looking at presentations. A presentation consists of slides. You can have one or more in a presentation. A slide can be either a question, a quiz, or content. Once your presentation has been completed, the next step is to engage your participants with your presentation. And this is done through share. There are various methods by which you can share your presentation with participants. The first method is through a digital code, where you can send this code to your participants, and this code will be unique to your presentation. The participants will simply enter the code in mentimeter.com and they can access your presentation. The second method is through a direct access link, where you can simply copy this link and send it to your participants. And the third method is through a QR code. Once the participants can access the presentation, the next step is for they to engage in your presentation by responding to your questions or quiz. And on the presenter's end, you can now view the responses in a wide range of formats.
Mentimeter is an easy-to-use, powerful interactive presentation tool. All you have to do is create a question, then press present. The audience then uses their smart device to enter the presentation code and submit their answer. With Mentimeter, you get unbiased results visualized in a way that encourages reflection and sparks discussion.
All right, so that was just a quick overview of what Mentimeter is. Now, like you see, I love promoting free software, especially for teachers, seeing that we are so highly paid. And Mentimeter is a tool that has some limitations, like you're seeing with the free, but definitely there are lots of stuff you could do with Mentimeter. Quick pause for questions, Kev, before we move on to the next one.
No, we're fine. I think a lot of you guys doing a great job in chat. And there's a good discussion going on there right now.
Okay, brilliant, right. Excellent. So what I'm going to do now is a quick, very fast demonstration on just setting up, like if you want to set up your Mentimeter. I'm seeing a lot of discussion on Google Form and its features and so on. We're going to hit on Google Forms probably in about 3 minutes, maybe a little more. So I'm just going to do a screen share, application window, Chrome tab, interactive. Kev, tell me if I'm on there.
Yes, you are.
All right. So basically, what you're looking at here is when you go into Mentimeter, so you set up an account and you go into Mentimeter, these are the kind of things that you have. So below you would see all the various presentations that we are running today. There's all these things here, right? So just ignore that. Let's just look at in the beginning, you want to look at new presentation. So we're going to start off with new presentation to set up a presentation. I'm just going to show you how fast and easy it is to just get a presentation going. So once you click on new presentation, the first thing, of course, is to give it a name, say test 3, create presentation. And then once you do that, what's going to happen is different types of presentations now going to become available for you. So on the right-hand side, I'm having a webcam conflict, but you see me, right, Kev?
Yeah.
Right-hand side here, you can choose the type of presentations you want to do, whether it's a multiple choice or word cloud or open-ended, or you want to use scales or question and answer, whatever type of question you want to do. Now, if I'm clicking on it, if you look at the center here, you'll see a multiple choice. It's just like a bar chart response. Or I could select the questions. So if I'm doing a multiple choice, you simply type the questions and put your responses. And then once that is done, you're pretty good to go. You're set up. I showed you just on the video. Next step is to share. If it was not a multiple choice and you want to do a word cloud or whatever it might be, you just want to set it up. The key thing here in Mentimeter is you got to practice. And there are a number of videos we will share with you that you can practice using Mentimeter. So Mentimeter is a tool that we heavily promoted. We use it a lot. There are lots of other tools similar, like Kahoots and a whole bunch of other tools that there. Perhaps it's even better, but our comfort zone is we use Mentimeter. So that's one sure way. So we're speaking about you in your platform, you're using an external tool that is a link. The link is going to take your students from your platform to the next tool and then bring them back to the next tool and then bring them back. Bear in mind that there are so many people with devices or cell phones. It's a little more difficult on a cell phone, and sometimes you need to use the back button. Brilliant. So that's it for Mentimeter. I want to move on to the next tool. Before we do that, quick questions, Kev.
Okay, so the only stuff I'm picking up right now. So everyone, who missed last session, if this is your first session, don't be alarmed. If you in the registration link that you had to sign up to get in, if you put your proper email address, we will be able to send you all the links you need to see session 1 and session 2, including the links for the feedback forms. So just scan into questions. Again, You've is doing a good job with handling questions in chat.
Kev, I want to do a poll on Google Form because there's a lot of chat on that, and that was really the next topic, right? Have you ever designed a Google Form?
Sure.
Let's start the poll.
You want to bring it up? Have it up.
I think it's published there now.
Oh, you have it up already. Okay, so results are 25% yes, 75% no.
Serious?
Yeah, 23, 25, 23, 24% no. Have you ever designed a Google Form? Yes is 22%, 21% no. And file is because, to me, Google Forms is one of the easier ones to really capture or master.
So what we're going to do is we're moving away from Mentimeter now to another tool. It's a very, very simple tool that we can use. And Google Form is a really simple tool that is an excellent tool that would allow students to, one, not just be interactive, but you can do assessments. Now, the key thing well, not difference really, but interaction that allows assessments will now allow you to mark these papers, self-marking, put points towards it, and so on. So just now when we made the error and put the wrong test up, what we did is we put a Google Form test up. I'm going to put it back up. If you did not do it, I said do it now, right? Simple test. Do it now. And then what I'll do is I'm going to show you the back end of that to see how the results are collated and how you could look at it. If you did it already, don't worry to do it. We're just going to leave it up for about less than a minute. But go and do the test. This test was totally developed in Google Form. And yes, there are intentional errors in it and also errors in developing it that we're going to show, because I want to show you what can happen because they don't really work picture perfect. So if you did not do the test, click on it. It's a simple Google Form test. I'm going to bring up the back end so that you could see what I'm seeing or the teacher will be seeing, right? So Kev, take a question or two while I bring up the Google Form.
Right, so again, just reiterating, if you filled out the information properly in the beginning of this registration for this webinar, we have your email address already, and you will get all those links coming to you.
Okay, I'll just put back up the could you put back up the
offer?
Yeah, later on you just put back up the notice board.
The notice board link. Yeah, I'll drop it actually in the slide, in the comment at the top.
Right.
Okay, someone is saying the link for the feedback form isn't working. That's okay, we'll check on it and make sure it's working. And again, we all the email addresses so we can sort that out for you guys.
So the simple test is up, right? So just click on it and quickly answer those 3 questions. Let's see how much you're getting right, how much you're getting wrong. And like typical teachers, you will argue about some of the answers, like your students do with you. You're supposed to get a mark for this, or you're supposed to get a mark for that, and like a typical good teacher, I'll smile and say, and ignore you. and go again.
Okay, so
All
the
right,
link is at the bottom. Okay, so great. That's the link for your notice board. The link for the poll is at the bottom. It'll be marked offer. You'll see, click here for offer. Right. Simple test, click here. So it's in a kind of teal color.
Yeah. Right. So you'll see click here. Simple test, click here, it's an offer. Someone is asking, what is the purpose of Mentimeter? Mentimeter is just an interactive tool. Mentimeter has nothing to do with your platform. That is going to allow you to ask questions and get responses. So Mentimeter is something you could use in a virtual environment. You could also do it in a live environment. We've used it a lot in a live environment. You're in a crowd of 100, 200, 300 people, and you want them responding to things. You hook it up to your system, your computer, and you can ask a question. How do you feel about today? What are your expectations today? And people responding on their phone, and it's coming up on your screen in the back. It's a really cool tool. Take that and put it into the virtual environment. Like here, it's also a really cool tool to get responses, to and fro responses. And of course, the next thing about Mentimeter is a wide range of responses. So Kev, if it's okay, I'm going to share screen.
Sure,
with the Google form, right? So I'm now shared screen. So hopefully you all are back in the room. Hopefully we didn't lose anybody. You're back in the room. I'm shared screen here with the Google form that you just did. So it's simple test, first name, simple 2+2, capital of Grenada, and a little Spanish thing, right? Now, if you're seeing my screen, you're seeing the word questions, and you're seeing the word responses. If I click on responses, which is what I like about Google Form, what it does, it can allow me to look at the summary of the responses. I'm not going to stick on any person so that you're really not going to see who said what. We had a 99.9% correct on 2+2. I would have thought that would be 100%, right? Now, if you look at the answers for the capital of Grenada, you're seeing Saint, S-A-I-N-T, Georges. You're seeing St. Georges. Those are the two variations only. And you're seeing Georges without an apostrophe, Georges with an apostrophe. And what I'm going to discuss is how would Google Form deal with this? What does talvels mean? Maybe, maybe, maybe. But maybe is written in different ways. So, wow, a lot of responses here. All right. So the responses in Google Form would allow you to look at it by questions. You can look at it as a summary, or you could look at it as individuals.
Right. Raj, I just want to interrupt. So those of you who probably not able to get back to the Google Form right now, if you did it earlier and you're using your phone, it usually gives a little error to get back to the form. So don't make a big, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You can actually look on the screen now and you'll follow up what's going on.
Yeah. So the whole idea there is to show you the flexibility that Google Form was going to bring to the table. Now there are some little add-ons, Chrome add-ons on Google Form that allows you to tally the marks, and you could export that mark straight into a learning management system. You could export that mark straight into your exam book or whatever it is that you're using electronically. So what I want to do now is we're going to remove this offer, and the next step is we're going to look at step by step what was done to build that Google Form out. So I'm going to bring that video up, Kev, while you take a question or two, right?
Sure. If you guys have any questions, let us know. What's the difference? Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Difference in St. George's and St. George's.
All right,
yeah, you go ahead.
We'll deal with that. Yes.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah. You actually are paused, huh?
All right, so what we're looking at here right now is how to create that Google Form we just did. So once you have a Gmail account and your Google Drive, you click on the top left-hand corner, you'll see New. You click on New, come all the way down, you'll see More, and click on Google Forms. And this would allow you to start a new Google Form. Now, in this particular case, it's not just a form we created a quiz that will give you answers. So on the top right, where you're clicking there now, you'll see click on settings, and there you'll see general presentation and quizzes. On the right hand side, you click on quizzes, and what that will do, it will allow you to make this form from just collecting data and make it into a quiz. A quiz means it's going to have points associated with it, and you can get a response, answers, and so on, and you can get a tallied points. You save it, and then of course give your form a name. So in this particular one, we call it here simple test. So you just give it a name, and in addition to naming the form as a description, on your top left, if you just click up there, it'll get the same name. So when you save it on Google Drive, it's going to save. Ready for the first question. Again, you want to choose your question type. Now, if you click on this, you'll see a whole host of different types here. Short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down box, all different styles of questions. The first one we had today was multiple choice. So you just type the question in, 2 + 2 on your multiple choice, and then simply put your answers as your options below for your students to choose the options. Now this, we don't just want them to choose the option, but you want to put an answer key. So you click on answer key, and once you click on answer key, it will then allow you to select the correct answer, in which case we're going to select 4 as the correct answer. This one, there's no level of contention with it. 4 is the answer, and decide how many points this question will have. So we give it 1 point. So 2 + 2, the answer is 4. It's worth 1 point, and we click done. So our first question is completed. Now we can make it required. So by clicking required, it means that question is now compulsory. Pretty good, right? But if it is an assessment you're doing and you're going to use this for marks, what I should have done is, instead of going straight into the test, I should add a question, and I'm going to fix this error here now. So let's ask the person's first name and last name, or whatever you want. So let's get the name. So we're now going to choose a question that's really a short answer. So we're going to choose a short answer question, make it required. You must put your name. Now, if this is a class environment, that's great. We are not going to give this points. There's no points for getting your name right. So we're now going to click on that. So if it's a situation where it's a class, it's a control environment. You know who your students are. Wrong position. So let's pull this question up on top. Click, pull, yep. Pull it up on top, so it now becomes your first question, and it's compulsory. So the student put their first name or full name. The second question now was the multiple choice. Nice, looking good so far. Let's now go and add a new question. Click on add question, and down below here now, what is the capital of Grenada? Oops, wrong G, capital, right? Nice. And controversial question, because if you're from Grenada, whether it's ST dot or whatever else, but it's a short answer. And look how we're going to deal with it. With a short answer, I have to type what is my version of the correct answer. So my version of the correct answer, I just Google it, paste, is Saint, S-A-I-N-T, space, George, apostrophe S. And we're going to give that 1 mark. There should be some level of flexibility, and I'll come to that just now. So we're going to make this a required question. It's worth 1 point. And we're pretty good with that. Nice. I'll show you options just now, how to deal with options, to deal with all the things in the chat. It should be ST dot and so on. The third question you did really was a video, right? And go on the right hand side, pull down, go all the way down, you'll see you can add a video. So we click add video. The Google form would allow you to do a YouTube search. So if you know the name of the video, RSC Tech Club, you put that. If not, and you found the video before, you have the URL, click the URL, which is what I did. I just did a random search for something Spanish, paste, and here's the video. So we have a video that whoever is in the Google form can click and play. So you have a video now that could play. Now let's come up with the questions for this particular video, right? So just put some instructions here first, right? Look at the video and answer the question. Good. So the instruction is look. Now you could put anything there. That could be a whole comprehension passage. It could be a video, it could be audio, whatever. So now you have the content that the student's looking at. The next step now, we click plus, and they are now going to, in this case, I think, what does talvez mean? So you have listened to the video, and you're supposed to tell us what. So can I say not talvez, it's talvez, talvez, talvez. So we're gonna give that answers, but check this out now. And here's what the options is. I didn't do it for Grenada, but this is what is possible. So one answer is maybe, but it could have been an option, maybe, or maybe it could have been another option with capital M, maybe. You as a teacher have to understand the possibilities, the range of answers your students might put that you're willing to give the mark for and put it. And the good thing about Google Form is even if you missed it, when you're looking at the results, you can make that adjustment and give a student it correct. Right, so we're going to mark all other answers as incorrect. And there you go. So your test is now, is that it? That's the 3 questions we did? Yep. Test is now complete. Of course, the Grenada, like I'm saying, you could have done that if you want. Give your options on the answer key, mark all those others as incorrect, which I did not do any tests here, but had I done that, the ST dot would have been correct. The ST dot St. George's apostrophe would have been correct. So now how do you send this test to your student? Test is completed. On the top right-hand button, you see send. You simply click on send. Once you click on send, you can send this via email, or you could just get a URL link like we're speaking about. Once you get the link, now it's a kind of long link, so Google Form allows you to shorten the link. So you just shorten that link. You can copy it. And once you shorten the link and copy it now, this link in your clipboard, save it, and you can use it whenever you're ready for it. So whether you send it by WhatsApp, by email, whether you're using Google Classroom, Moodle, Edmodo, whatever you want. You just send that link out to students. And once students send the link out, then they're pretty good to go. Pause for questions. Yeah, talk to me. So that's just
so we have
how to develop the Google Form test that you just did.
Okay, great job. Okay, someone asked what Mentimeter. I think we were past that. Okay, so someone has asked if it's case sensitive, if the answers in Google Form, is it case sensitive?
I think it is. I'll have to double check that for you, but I think it is case sensitive. Yep. All right, so that's it for questions. So we're about how long into the webinar? Okay, where is the time? Wow, we crossed an hour.
Yeah, we just
so at this point in time, before we go into some of other tools, quick wrap-up tools, you don't ever allow your students to sit for an hour. By now, your blood flow drop, they're starting to get droopy and everything else. So this is the time in our webinar. And really, I wanted to go local this week. And there's a gentleman who's a Tai Chi expert. His name is Philip Kalu, who did a video for us, and we're going to start using that. But from next week, because when I uploaded the video, if you're on Philip, it's showing really fuzzy. So I'll have to go back to the video we used last week and we'll get a good local one. But Philip Kalu is a Tai Chi expert, and he's a retired principal, so he's been through the education system. So at this point, I'm going to take off my video, so you're not going to see, but I'm going to be doing what we're supposed to do. If at this point in time you could get off your bed, get off the couch, sit still, look at the video, we are going to run some. All right, so Sudan is back. Okay, great. Right. So again, guys, just to get the blood moving, get blood flowing. We went a little longer today. Our Tai Chi expert is joining us next week. So before we start talking about a couple other tools, Kev, do we have any questions you want me to address, or could we just
again? You guys would have handled some of the questions. Some of them I picked up on one was where the Google Forms is located. How do you get access to it?
Right.
And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. So you've been doing a fantastic job. Again, thank you big time. Now, what I'm going to do now is do a couple discussions and demonstrations. And I'm telling you in front that some of what I'm going to do requires preparation. Now, we're going to talk concept. So remember, if you have a classroom situation or you have participants that you are familiar with, it is possible to have preparation. One tool that is really an excellent tool to use is something called Flipgrid. We would love to do a demonstration where you're all participating in Flipgrid, but if you're not fully prepared before, you could have some challenges. So for example, if you're on a phone and you try to use Flipgrid, it's going to ask you to download the app. Now, it's a simple process. It takes like about a minute, 2 minutes to download. But the reality is if you're not getting through with it now, don't worry too much about it. If you're on as a vehicle passing on the road. If you're on a computer and you're on Chrome, it works really well. I'm not sure about some of the other things. So what I'm going to do is on the chat, I just put up a link for Flipgrid. Let's just try, and I'll explain what Flipgrid is after. Click on the link, and what it will do, I'll ask you to say something. Now, wait, before you click on the link, it is going to ask you to turn on your video. So if you are not properly attired, or if you know the background has a lot of, as one teacher put it, the last session she had naked children running up and down behind her, don't turn on your video. But if those of you who want to try it, you just click on the link. It will ask you to sign in with a Google email or Microsoft. If you have that readily available, go ahead and do it. All I need is from this 615 people, 2 people or 3 people to get through to demonstrate. Click on it, open up your Google, and just record for us a message. Say, hi, I am so-and-so from wherever, and blah, 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 whatever you want to say, that's fine. Just to demonstrate the purpose of Flipgrid, it allows your students to respond verbally, right? And if you have no space on your phone, don't even try to download. It allows your students. It's a fantastic form of, and I'm going to be chatting away while some of you are going to try and make that small video. But in a classroom environment, if you would have pre-prepared this with your participants and they know you're going to use Flipgrid, they would have it ready. And what's going to happen is it's an easy way, you know, like how in a class you call up a child and you say, okay, Freddie, come to the front. Now, I'm not saying Johnny. We have too many Johnny jokes. And Sugan warned me I'm not allowed to tell jokes in these sessions. So Freddie, come to the front of the class, and Freddie has to explain something. This is a fantastic tool where not just Freddie, but Freddie, Johnny, Harry, Somati, everybody else could go on the Flipgrid. They give you a response. You don't have to look at all, but you could play some for the class to see. Fantastic tool, Flipgrid. So I'm hoping some people trying it. Kev, you could talk a bit while I switch screens to see if I'm getting any responses at all.
Yeah, definitely. So we are back up. Okay, so those of you who haven't challenged, again, Flipgrid, it's a really nice little app. We will send all these links for you on the notice board. So you can always take that link for that notice board. We'll paste it just before the end of the session again. We'll put all the information that you need there. So a couple questions from Google Forms. Can you add pictures as well? Yes, you definitely can. You can add pictures or diagrams or drawings once you have them set out already. And you could make questions out of them. So you could, you know, what is the right diagram? Scrolling back through the questions. Or are there any add-ons to Google Form to tally marks to input into Excel? Actually, that's a great question. It does the tallying for you. In fact, Google Forms can actually email out the results directly to your students. That's one of the great features about it.
All right, Kev, so
yeah,
I'm not seeing any responses yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a full demonstration on what the user experience is going to be, right? Right, so no problem if you have to set it out, right? The link is on the chat, to the top of the chat. You'll see https://flipgrid.com, right? So if you're not there, I'm going to come back into the room with me, and I'm going to do that demonstration what you would have experienced, right? So once I click on Flipgrid,
sorry, you gave them the password for the Flipgrid?
They don't need a password.
Okay, don't need a password, right? Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do a share screen, right? Chrome tab. Can you see my screen now?
Coming.
Right.
Yeah, screen is up.
Right. Once you click on the link, this is what you'll see. You see a screen come up that says say hi. You need to scroll down. You scroll down and you'll see a little green button on the left with a plus sign. So the child will get the link from you. The link is going to be unique to that class, and you'll scroll down and you'll see a green. Once you click on the button, you need to log in with either a Google or Microsoft, right? So I have a Google account, so I'll log in with a Google account. I click Raj Ramdas, that's my Google account. And then all of a sudden, the Flipgrid is going to come up. So repeat the steps. I got the link. And when I got the link, it allowed me to access it via Google Form. I'm just trying to turn it on here now. Come on, switch camera. Right, there you go. So what you are seeing here really is through Flipgrid. A whole bunch of things that I will not do. So it's asking me to record. So I'll click the record button. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Miss. Johnny here. I'm here with my girlfriend who's not my wife, Sugan, who's on the other side. So this is my message to Miss. I click stop. And once I'm finished recording, it is going to allow me. It's taking a while to upload because right now I'm trying to run both Webinar Jam and this. Come on, you can do it, right? So I click next. I could review it. Let's just accept it, whatever it is. And we must now take a selfie. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm going to smile, take a selfie, smile, right? And click next. And then we're going to go Raj and Sugan, S-U-G-A-N, right? And submit video. So what would have happened? Yay, we got it, right? So what would have happened, and let me stop screen and come back. Right, so what would have happened is that would have been the user experience. User experience meaning the student or your participants. Let me reverse now and show you what your experience as the presenter is going to be. So Kev, I am flipping again.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, Rose, great question. Yeah, the video, you can approve that. You can approve whatever is uploaded before it goes to the Flipgrid. So you can review it. If it's not up to standard or up to educator standard, you can delete it. I'll ask them to redo it.
Kev, let me know when you see the screen.
I see your screen.
Nice. So we have a lot of response. Yay, right? Now, if you notice, there's hidden on with red, right? I did that intentionally because, like Kevin is saying, you might want to edit some of these things before you make them public, right? So Claire Adams, do I have your permission to show yours? Maybe, maybe not. I'm hoping, right?
We have a very time delay, so she might take a few seconds to respond.
Sorry?
Time delay, so you'll take a few seconds.
Right. So just playing the one here. So if you notice, this is the one we just recorded. So Gan and I recorded this. So you as the presenter and the teacher could see. Hi, Miss. Johnny here. I'm here with my girlfriend who's not my wife. Oh my gosh, that's why this. Stop that. So Ganwati, that's what happened there. Right. All right, so that's what I said, right? Let's look at your phone.
Claire said you can go ahead with hers when you're ready.
Thanks for permission, Claire. So I'll do that. You did this one. Let's see what. Hey, look, this is what your looks like, everybody.
And shout out to Raj and the entire RSE team.
So I just paused it intentionally, right? Yuv is a good friend of mine. Now let me check this out. If you look at the toaster off in the back, we could see what Yuv had for lunch today. But he have no, that's a microwave. All right, so sorry about that, Yuv.
This is Yuba all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. Enjoy.
All right, well done. So as it's a really fun tool. We got permission from who? From Claire?
Claire Adams.
All right. Nice, well done. Permission from anybody else, Kev? Could I randomly do one and hope they don't mind?
You can if you so desire.
You will take the route?
I'm not seeing anyone else posting in chat if there's any. Okay. Speed.
Hi Raj, this is Akai. I got through with using Flipgrid.
Well done, right? So let me come back live.
Robert Ramsahai says you can go ahead with his. Shelly Ann. Everybody wants to be on Flipgrid suddenly, Raj.
Nice. Let's go back again. Robert R.
Wendy said you can use hers.
think that would be rubber transformer.
Rose said you could use hers.
3, 2, 1. Hi, Miss. Johnny here. I'm here with my girlfriend who's on my wife.
Why? What is happening there?
My message to Miss.
What is happening there?
Alright, let me see what's going on with Robert. So I played Raj instead.
Oh, and you're showing Robert.
No. Two, one.
No. Why?
Hi.
What's happening?
I think they probably recorded that on our screen. Let me just see somebody else.
Wendy.
Yeah. So don't worry about the quality, guys, because you're in webinar channel when you're watching.
All right. So what happened there, and I do apologize, is whilst Robert was recording, the webinar was going on, so the audio from his system was re-recording and his own also, as were the others, right? So really great. Now what I might do, we look at those who given us permission, and I'll just take out the hide from it. And once I take off the hide from it, you all could use the same link and look at everybody else's presentation. It's going to be really cool, right? So Flipgrid, I don't want to take too much time on it. Oh my God, look how much time in this session gone. Wow, I apologize. Flipgrid is a fantastic tool, and there are lots and lots. Kev, can you just check and see if Ronald Mutu is in the session? We need to bring him in.
Sure.
And there are lots and lots of other tools that are available. Look at things like Kahoot. Look at a whole bunch of tools that will make your session interactive. And trust me, every week, new ones are coming on. So you have apps, you have tools. I love to use things like Radio Garden. Radio Garden is a fantastic tool where you just click on it and it opens up all the radio stations throughout the world. And you could go there and find your radio station and actually play it if that's what you want to do, right? There's so many different tools as educators we could use. So the key thing is to find a tool, fall in love with it, but there are some caution points. When you're running a session, don't go to town on too many tools within the same session. Try and form a sort of brand that is you. Find 2 or 3 tools that you really love, and your students understand you, they understand the tool, and they get engaged. And all of a sudden, these tools become like clothes. It's second nature. And when your tools become second nature, you will never again be limited to what your platform could do, because you could drive in and out of it at will. You'll never be limited by poor interaction, because we could improve our interaction as much as we would like, right? We'll send out a list of all the possible tools that there. Kev, you found Ronald?
Not yet, but I see Mr. Jeremiah is here if you want him.
All right, so Mr. Ronald Mutu, if you are in this session, please raise your hand. And if you're not, we could see if Dominic will come in.
Okay, so we're... Any questions?
You found them yet? No?
Not yet. I don't know if Alberta might have better luck as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me just quickly, there are lots of tools, right? But let me just quickly, whilst we're waiting on Ronald or Dominic to raise their hand to wrap up this session, there are things like Google Earth, and there are things like 3D videos, and there are a whole bunch of stuff. There are a whole bunch of, yes, Talvez means something else. I'm not sure what it is. There are a whole bunch of stuff you could do. So, like, for example,
Yes.
all right, so this is a nice tool that I love, right? I'm going to do a share screen. You could try. There's something called Radio Garden that we get students to play with. I'm going to do a share screen here, application window. It's not there. Radio Garden. Here it is, right? Can you tell me if you've seen, right?
I see.
There's a lovely little tool that allows you to look at the earth And every single green dot you see represents a radio station. So
todos los productos de altísima calidad genética para garantizar su siembra a un 100%. ¿Quién lo tiene para el oriente venezolano?
So we have lots of people from Grenada and Trinidad here and wherever else. Kev, where's Grenada? One of these there?
Lower, above us, that's St. Vincent. There you go.
It's not Grenada, right?
Yeah, that's Grenada.
Right. So let's see what Grenadians listen to, what kind of radio stations they have. Here's one here. That's all Grenada brothers listening to. Look at the next one there. Stations in Grenville. Our next one here. Stations in Mali.
There so far, we have one. Dr. Martin, you mentioned about evidence of community spread. Somebody's asking what was the origin of.
This is what Trinidad looking like.
My experience with privileges matter. I have been on the privileges committee of the parliament for over.
Right. So that is like a real fantastic mapometer where you can listen to radios all over the world. And then in addition to that, right? Imagine if you go to Google Earth and you can see people's phones and every single thing else. So Kev, did we find? Oh, here's Jeremiah. Right. So, all right. So we are finished for today. We've gone beyond our time. Again, we apologize. Fantastic session. Again, we're going to be sending you more content next week. It's going to be platforms. Plus, we have some surprises. So, Mr. Jeremiah.
Well, first of all, I want to express my, I want to recognize my colleague principal from Trinidad and Tobago, Principal Shara James, and thank her for welcoming everybody today. Again, I want to express my gratitude to RSC, the team from RSC, for the fantastic job that you are doing, interacting with our teachers and principals across the region. And on behalf of the Caribbean Association of Principals of Secondary School, we once again want to thank everyone for linking up with RSC this week in our third in the series of 4 webinars to help the capacity of our teachers and our principals across the region. So we have completed 3, we have 1 to go. And I just want to thank everybody for your presence here today, and let us encourage more of our colleagues to join in next week, and let us capitalize on the opportunity that we have through these webinars to grow and to develop and to make our transition to the online modality of teaching a lot more interactive and enjoyable. So have a pleasant evening, and thank you again for being here.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so to the top, the notice board is there with the links. Again, we are really struggling with our email community. A lot of you all, it's a lot of emailers going to spam, emailers going to your promotion folder. Please check your spam, check your promotion. The notice board is up. Copy that link because I'm going to update that with a replay probably in about a day, and then anything else. Anything else to wrap up, Kev? We finished now?
Yeah, just a lot of people say they missed session 1 and session 2. You'll get that in the notice board link. If not, just WhatsApp me a name and email address, and we'll make sure that you're in the database to get that link out to you.
All right, so this is offbeat, right? But there are 4 teams that is representing the Caribbean in MIT's Solvathon that's happening tomorrow. A number of people from the group here who would have, what we did is the people who applied for the IBM call for code, we picked some from them. And tomorrow evening from 1 to 4, the Caribbean is going to be represented by 4 teams in MIT Sultan. RSC, we were selected to be the partner for MIT to run this competition in the Caribbean. So good luck to all the people who are participating tomorrow. I know you're going to make the Caribbean proud. And if anybody is interested in the IBM call for code, that's going to be coming up. The session we had planned did not happen. Shari and the group from IBM was not available, but it's happening on the 13th. Saturday the 13th is when the session will happen. We'll give you more information on it. So next week, Wednesday, same time, 2 o'clock, is going to be our session. We're going to be focusing on different platforms. And we do have a surprise because MindSpark is going to come into our session for the Wednesday after that. That's not part of the 4 for certification, but MindSpark is going to partner with us to do a session on esports, demystifying esports and everything associated with esports, because RSC is also going to be running a regional gaming tournament. We're going to have principals playing against principals, teachers playing against teachers, and students playing against everybody, right? So it's going to be a regional esports tournament. Fantastic session. We are really, really happy to be given this opportunity, and all the best.
Good. So thank you all so much for joining us, and hoping to see all of you again next week, same time.
And those who are sending all the praises, thank you very much. We also do appreciate comments that could make us improve, comments that could make the session better. We love all the excellent job and so on, but we really would like to make it better and better. And most important, like you has joined us and Patricia is going to join us, anybody, please come and be part of, we are all volunteers. Everything we do is free for everyone. Come and volunteer with us and help us expand this throughout the region and help education go to the next level. Kevin, follow us to wrap up.
Okay, so thanks. Okay, so guys, remember the links are on the notice board. You did a great job. Amrit, a great job in the back as well, keeping us informed and putting up the links for us. Again, we have your, if you register for this webinar, we have your email address. So don't worry, you will get all those links. So I will be in the chat. Any questions, you could just, any questions, just let me know. And thanks again, everyone.